Understanding women's health, how hyperempathy on unborn fetuses can create restrictions negatively impacting women's healthcare. Amber Thurman, Handy Miller, Jocelyn Barnica, Nevaeh Crane. These are all the names of women who have been recently passed due to their state's bans on abortion. Hyperempathy on unborn fetuses can create restrictions negatively impacting women's healthcare. The conversation over abortion has recently usurped what it used to be. But what is abortion? What perspectives do people have over abortions, and how does that expand into healthcare? And lastly, where do people get these antagonistic reviews over abortion, and what can people do to change this? So, what is an abortion? Abortion is the termination of a pregnancy before the fetus can survive outside the uterus, according to Yale Medicine. Medically, an abortion is a procedure, yet many who are opposed to abortion often hold themselves a different opinion. According to Naveen Patel, one of the most common arguments levied against a woman's right to choose is the idea that abortion is murder. That is their strongest argument. Oftentimes, those who believe abortion is murder fall under or categorize themselves as pro-life, often countering pro-choice people. So, what is pro choice versus pro life? Those who are pro choice often believe it is a woman's right to choose whether or not they want to keep the child. They want to, they have the ability and the freedoms to choose themselves, women, whether or not they want to go through with an abortion procedure, um, have access to medical counter contraceptives and sexual education and more freedom towards their own autonomy. Whilst pro life individuals often hold the mindset that abortion is murder. They often um, believe that the government should enforce strict regulations on abortion, banning it, and limit such freedoms towards a woman's own body. Oftentimes, people misunderstand or believe that pro-choice individuals only focus on abortion, like confusing them with pro-abortion people. But those are entirely different. Pro-abortion wants and only expects those pregnant or trying to get pregnant to hold an abortion, whilst pro-choice people have the freedom to keep the child. It is not just focusing on abortion, they also have the choice to keep the child they're carrying, no matter the circumstances and no matter how strenuous. Restrictions towards abortion, contraceptives, and sex ed. So, as pro life individuals believe that abortion is murder, they also deem it important to prevent the possible life and the possible elimination of life in all aspects of the reproductive system before sperm is entered inside the uterus. According to Irmak Dagnistali from Rampo College of New Jersey, it is believed that having access to reproductive rights such as contraceptives, birth control, and comprehensive sex education can lead to an increase in sexual activity and abortion rates. But that's not the reality. In reality, lack of access to contraceptives forces young women to have these unwanted pregnancies and eliminates their personal rights and their personal freedoms to choose what they want to do with their body. Lack of sexual education puts individuals, not just women, but men additionally, at a higher risk of gaining sexually transmitted diseases, illnesses, and even risk for fatal, like death caused by issues that span during sexual activity. Now, lack of sexual education doesn't just affect a person physically, it also affects a person's mindset and it opens the door towards misinformation. Now, for example, during the 2024 presidential debate, ABC 7 quotes President ABC 7 quotes Donald Trump in his speech in his debate, saying, "We'll execute the baby." This is in reference to extreme leftists, or what he deems extreme leftists. However, these people don't exist. In this video, he's currently arguing that abortion in the ninth month is currently fine, the mindset that he believes pro-choice people hold or in the abortion conversation. Now, even if even if we do not talk about the the child during the pregnancy, often when a mother cannot have a child or take care of a child after birth, it is then replaced with or argued that things such as government assistance, the foster system might provide help towards them. Yet, according to this a study, Child Mistreatment in Foster Care by the University of Illinois, it is actually really highly abusive and horrible space for children to live at. It's not this wonderful second opportunity that these children have. It is an area that children may go and experience abuse firsthand. According to this study, 9.31 children per thousand kids studied received physical abuse in their foster homes, 5.23 receiving sexual abuse, and 2.38 per thousand children experiencing neglect. Often, WIC programs, government assistance, and the foster care system have all even made it difficult for a student or for a child to live in, often being quoted, "I make too much to get help, but art is too poor to live." So, as these debates have been prevalent for some decades now, they've been especially in the political spotlight after the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Now, Roe versus Wade is a 1973 political court case, Supreme Court case, which secured the constitutional right for a woman's right to an abortion. It made it so that states cannot deny or ban it in any aspect. Yet, in 2022, this was overturned. Now, overturning does not guarantee a total ban throughout the nation. However, it meant that it was left up to the states individually to decide what they wanted to do with the concept or the idea of abortion. Many states, especially southern states, banned it, forcing young women to either travel out of state or risking their own lives holding an unwanted pregnancy themselves. So, what can you do? Vote. Voting is one of the biggest ways to secure your own personal rights and freedoms. It ensures that what you want for your body and for your others can be secured into law. Building to that vote, you can write to your local congressman or participate in town halls and elections, all things that help the representatives we elect, the congressmen we elect, hear our voices individually. Abortion and overall pro-life rhetoric has spread towards religious and restrictive legislator, risking the lives and freedoms of women throughout the nation. An abortion, once again, is a medical procedure, yet misconstrued beliefs and misinformation has created a dangerous mindset that prevents women from gaining access towards any action towards their own bodies. And although there's massive debate, arguments throughout the nation restricting rights, it's important to remember that even one voice, one fight, one vote can help change the future of the nation and the future of personal freedoms. Thank you.